Hey everyone, it's Fun Around, and my name is Jordan, and we have one giant slate of games before Election Day where we won't have any games. I did make a video for Sunday. I typically don't make Sunday videos, partly because I think there's, just Sundays are just off. And it's everyone acknowledges that even for baseball, Sundays are off. So not sure what it is. Maybe once we get past NFL and people don't care as much on Sundays, I'll do Sunday videos, but we'll see. But in this slate, every single team will be playing, so it's huge, massive slate. There are a ton of lines to look at. I found just a couple of plays that are going to be in this video. The rest of them are going to be in the pinned comment. I'm so glad that Ev came up with that idea of putting things in the pinned comment. Ev from Guy Boston Sports. Otherwise, I would be up until 1 in the morning just trying to solidify picks. And then there would be even more coming out tomorrow, which just I wouldn't be able to find my favorite one. So I did find a couple that I do like right now. There are a lot of lines out right now, and I did kind of skim through them. But I dug in deep for just these couple, and I really like them. So gonna jump right into it. Remember, pinned comment for the rest of the plays. Huge slate. I should be able to come up with a decent amount of plays for this Monday slate. So for these two picks, you will see images that come up on screen right here. That is from a data app called Outlier. There's a link in the description that'll give you a 7-day free trial for Outlier. So let's start with the back-to-backs. Who's going to be on a back-to-back? Which teams to kind of stay away from? The Pistons will be at home against a fresh Lakers team. So that screams maybe Anthony Davis against a Pistons team on a back-to-back. Nets at home against a fresh Grizzlies team. We got to see where those Ja Morant lines come out at. He has been just killing it, especially with the assist. I imagine we're going to see 9.5. I think it's going to be 9.5. Or if they want to bump it up by 1, it's going to be 8.5. Probably still going to take that. But yeah, keep an eye out for Ja Morant. Magic will be on the road versus the Fresh Thunder. They just got blown out by the Mavericks, so the starters didn't have to play too much. The Mavericks will be at home against the Fresh Pacers. The Hawks will be at home against the Fresh Celtics. Really good matchup there for Celtics players to score, and against a really bad defense with the Hawks. And then the Pelicans at home versus the Fresh Blazers. Zion did not play, so even though they'll be on a back-to-back, if Zion plays, he's going to be fresh. So this first pick that I have that I found, I'm not going to dig into every single matchup, or else I could make, like an hour-long video going through every single matchup. And, maybe once I'm on paternity leave and I have 4 months, maybe I do stuff like that where it's just we can really dig in through the videos, and I'm not just having to record at nighttime. But this guy, he's probably on your ban list. But he's probably on your ban list for shooting the ball. I'm not asking him to shoot the ball here. Julian Champagnie of the Spurs. You're probably like, oh no, not this again, not this guy. Over 3.5 rebounds at -125. If you look at this chart, he has been just rebounding really well. He's gone over in 5 out of 6 games this season. Devin Vassell continues to be out. He's going to be out for this one, and Champagnie has been getting 25 minutes a game. The one he went under, he played just 20 minutes in that game. I checked, it wasn't a blowout. He just wasn't shooting that well, and Keldon Johnson was going off of the bench, so he didn't get that extra 5 minutes. So potentially if he gets that extra 5 minutes, almost half a quarter, he gets that rebound to go over this mark. But he's averaging 8 rebound chances a game, and if you watch my videos, I say normally you take that and you cut it in half, but that's when you have like huge amount of rebound chances, because it looks like he's converting these at a much higher clip than 50%. So the Clippers, last year they were a terrible matchup for rebounds because they just had so many guys that could shoot at a high percentage. This year, they're still not that great of a matchup, but when it comes to shooting guard and small forward, they're a decent match. They're like average to slightly above average matchup. When it comes to point guards just really struggle to get rebounds against them, probably because James Harden's boxing them out. And if you look at James Harden's rebounding numbers, where his line came out at, it's at like minus 150. I think it was like 5.5 for minus 150. And I was like, man, I wish I could take this. This looks amazing. So it's probably going to get bumped up to 6.5. You can get that at plus money if you want to take a look at his rebounds or rebounds plus assists. That might be a finalized play in the pinned comment once I just think about it a little bit more. And yeah, so let's get back to Julian Champagnie. So he's been killing it with the rebounds. Hopefully he doesn't put himself completely on the ban list with this one, but it should be a close game. The Clippers haven't been too great this year, and the Spurs have been okay. So I do like for him to continue here to go over with all the rebound chances that he is getting. So that's over 3.5 rebounds. And if you guys could, please like the video. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you leave a comment for the algorithm? You could just put the number 11. That's my favorite number right there. Number 11 for this huge slate. The lucky number 11. And that helps get the video out there for more people to see. And also, if you would like to get away from Prizepicks, I know a lot of you are using Prizepicks, but there are other options out there. And it's good just to have options just to compare the payouts. If you like a certain, props, go check them out on other apps and see who's giving you the better payout. And get those deposit matches. Check out Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, and ChalkBoard. Use promo code FINAROUND11 on any of these. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. All of these have great alt lines and many more options than Prizepicks does. So when I see people using Prizepicks all the time and they're just complaining like I don't have that line and stuff like that, more than likely that line is on one of these other apps for the pick'em apps for the more or less. So check those out. Thank you to anyone who does sign up with that promo code. The second one, I like Christian Braun over 1.5 blocks plus steals minus 121 over in 5 of 6 games this season. Playing the Raptors, they did go into overtime last time they played, but Scotty Barnes was there. Scotty Barnes will not be there this time around. Christian Braun leads the Nuggets in blocks. That was a crazy stat, coming from your shooting guard. Jamal Murray will be out, so he could get some extra minutes. Russell Westbrook lines were not out yet when I was looking, but he could be a good potential guy for like steals or blocks, or steals plus blocks, and then of course scoring here in this matchup. So that'll be something I'm looking out for is Russell Westbrook. Especially assist for him, definitely assist. But in that matchup against the Raptors, you'll see he went over. That game went into overtime. I checked, make sure he went over in regulation. He did go over in regulation. He's gone over in 6 straight games versus bottom 10 defenses that allow steals. That is just an outlier insight that they give. And then checking the stats, we're almost 2 weeks in, so we're kind of getting there where we can trust the data just a little bit. I like to have like a month's worth for the rankings, but 2 weeks we can kind of get a picture of what a team looks like against certain positions and everything. But right now I'm just looking at what teams give up against like specific teams, and then if I need to dig a little further, I'll look at the position matchups. But when it comes to just steals and blocks in general, they're giving up the 6th most steals and then the 9th most blocks to teams. So Toronto, really good matchup here for Christian Braun to go over this line yet again, minus 121. That's a really weird payout. I don't know why the one on the 120, but those are just 2 picks that I found that I like right now. I'm gonna get some rest. I'm going to get my coffee in the morning. I'm going to check for more lines, and I'm going to put them in that pinned comment. And And if you would like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord link is in the description. It is getting rather large. It's a really big community with a lot of people who bring their own research. They're digging up their own lines, all that stuff. Some people just go off their gut feelings and they just do really well. And that's perfectly fine. Me, I'm an analytical guy. So that's how I approach it. It doesn't make sense. And I'm also a basketball guy. So I got to use the basketball eye when it comes to these picks. So I just mix them together. But the Discord talks about college football, NFL, esports, all that stuff is in there. And you can just join the community and help build slips together. And I'm thinking about potentially doing like a Discord favorite and adding that to the pinned comment. So that's something I'm going to talk to the Discord about and put that in the pinned comment, and then we'll see how they do. So that is in the description. I've already said that. We'll do a recap of the past 2 days that I have done. A little bit better. Start off November. So I had Cade Cunningham over threes a couple of days ago. He hit that even though it was a huge blowout. I had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 1.5 steals because that was like the steals matchup, and he did not get it. It was a blowout. He didn't get in the fourth quarter. I knew it was going to be a blowout. I was just hoping his steals were going to be a part of that. He had a couple teammates get 4 steals each. I was stuck between this one and Chet Holmgren, 3.5 blocks plus steals. And Chet, he went over that line, so I picked the wrong one there. But keep an eye out for Chet Holmgren blocks plus steals. He's been hitting that at a high rate. That line's just not out yet. I had LaMelo Ball over 23.5 points against the Celtics. I showed the history and everything of him playing the Celtics. I saw a lot of people taking the under on LaMelo Ball for some reason, but he crushed that. I had Jakob Poeltl over rebounds. He went over that with like 12. And then this one was, the read was there, the intention was there, my heart was there with this under. Zion Williamson under 29.5 points against the Pacers. So you normally don't want to take a power forward under against the Pacers, but I was reading that he was on a minutes restriction, and when you checked it out, he was sitting around 30 minutes. So I was like, okay. So he's going to get around 30 minutes. He's going to need to average a point every minute that he plays. And he came off his minutes restriction, and he ended up going over with like 2 minutes left. He had never gone over against the Pacers before. So if I had known that he was not going to be on a minutes restriction, I wouldn't even have put that play there. I would have just faded it completely. But it is what it is. I put it there, and I know some people bet it. But yeah, he's not on a minutes restriction anymore. And then the next day, Ja Morant over 7.5 assists. He absolutely crushed that. We're going to have a new celebration for Ja Morant. I'm not going to show it on the screen, but you should be able to hear the noise. Ja Wick. Ja Wick keeps on feeding families. We appreciate you, Ja. And then I had Michael Porter Jr. over 1.5 assists. It's a sweaty play. It was like almost even money. He's hit it 100% of the time this season, getting those 2 assists. So it is something you can play, and you'll sweat it out. But the hit rate is good, and the payout is usually pretty good. Then I had R.J. Barrett over 1.5 3-pointers made. He got that. And then the one, Alfred Sengun, over 10.5 rebounds plus 100. He ended up with 10 rebounds. His coach did not play him the entire fourth quarter. He did not play him the entire overtime. I know he says he played. The guys that helped get them back from a 30-point deficit, he was on the court in the third quarter, the entire third quarter, to help them go on that run. but he didn't play him in the fourth. And when they went into overtime, they were very tired, and you could see that their shots were coming up short. And you had a fresh, young, very skilled center on the bench, and you could have thrown him in the game in that overtime and potentially won the game because he was so fresh. And he ended up with the 10 rebounds, and he had a double-double in like 20 minutes of play. So that one did not hit. So for the 4-0 sweep on that day, it was that close because of the coach. So not going to take Sengun or the Rockets anytime soon. Funny enough, Dylan Brooks went under his 3-pointers, and I showed that on the screen. I said, no, we're not going to take that. So keep an eye on that pinned comment. I'm going to get this edited and get it out to you. Make sure you vote and make your voice heard. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.